Hello, everyone. It's Royce here, and I want to welcome you all to the Royce in the House YouTube channel. Tonight is our every Sunday live podcast, music-based live podcast. Tonight, we're doing another Led Zeppelin album. We've gone through all the studio albums. We've done some of the live albums, How the West Was Won, the BBC sessions. Tonight, we're going to do maybe the greatest compilation or greatest hits of any band, and it's Led Zeppelin's Mothership. And I'm really excited about it. I've been listening to the album for hours this afternoon. All my favorite songs. Of course, there's always going to be, with a catalog like Led Zeppelin's, there's always going to be a couple of songs that didn't make it on there that you might have rather seen over a couple of others. But that's the nature of the beast. That's what always happens. So tonight, we're going to be talking about mighty Led Zeppelin's Mothership. I've got my copy right here. And I got to tell you, folks, look at the size of this thing. I mean, it is a brutal, beautiful box. I mean, I absolutely love this box. And oh yeah, that's the back with the Swan Song
I
label.
think we show them both,
Yeah,
front
okay.
and back. Yeah.
Excuse me.
No,
Okay, front and
it's
back.
beautiful.
Okay, so yeah, no, this box is really, I think it's beautiful, man.
It's
I
a
mean,
piece of art, is what
the
it
guy
is.
that did the art did an amazing job. Yes, he did. Okay,
Yes.
well, okay, so released in November 12th, 2007, produced by Jimmy Page. Now, we'll get into a little bit more of the release dates and stuff. I've personally been a fan of Led Zeppelin for 55 years. Now, that seems almost impossible as young as I look, but I became a fan in 1969 as a junior in high school. 1969, Led Zeppelin 1 and 2 both came out, followed by Led Zeppelin 3 in 1970 when I was still in high school. And then, of course, Led Zeppelin 4, the amazing Led Zeppelin 4 in 1971. So that's the year I graduated. So I got to see, in high school, Led Zeppelin's first four albums, or shortly after getting out of high school in 71. But anyway, I've been a fan. I mean, I've never been any bigger of a fan than I am Led Zeppelin, and it's never gone away. It's stayed with me. Led Zeppelin continues to inspire generations with their groundbreaking, blues-infused, guitar-driven rock and roll. And I mean, it really doesn't get a whole lot better than this, folks. We did the show on The Who last week, and I really enjoyed that. That's a great rock band, The Who. And Led Zeppelin is a little mightier than they are, but they're all good. And I'm not trying to take anything away from The Who. I enjoyed that show, and the show did real well as far as views and stuff too.
Good.
So okay, so arguably Led Zeppelin is the biggest rock band in the world throughout their 12-year reign. They remain one of the most influential and innovative groups in music history, with over 200 million albums sold worldwide. Okay. 200 million. Their catalog is one of the most enduring bodies of music composition to come out of the 20th century. And of course, we can throw bands like the Beatles in with that too. The Beatles, Led Zeppelin. I don't know who would fit above either one of those when it comes to this body of work to come out of the 20th century musical composition. Anyway, so Mothership is a compilation album by Led Zeppelin. I had a little discussion today with my buddy Zep Pearl. Very good guy. Great show. Check him out.
Okay.
Zep Pearl. He's strong on Led Zeppelin. He's strong on actually all rock and roll. Even a lot of the newer stuff. He's going to the concerts and things like that. He's a great guy to listen to talk too. So anyway, Zep Pearl said, I put a poll up, and one of the albums I listed on the poll as which is your favorite compilation. I listed Coda. Now I knew Zep Pearl wasn't going to like that. We've had that discussion plenty of times, and I personally call Coda a studio album. But you know what? When you go online and ask about that, you're going to find more people saying, no, well, not in the normal sense that they sat down and made an album. These were leftovers and stuff they pulled together from other albums, and they owed Atlantic Records a last record, and they bought off on them using Coda. You know, John Bonham had died and stuff, and so there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes against it. In fact, this very album doesn't list this compilation doesn't list Coda as a studio album. But anyway, back to the Mothership. I've listed them as a studio album. There's a whole. I can see the reasons why people refuse to. What do you guys think about that, Michael? Do you just across the board, no two ways about it? They're a studio album.
Of course it is.
Okay.
All right. First of all, you got to think of it this way, Royce. How many people consider? I know there is a contingency who disagree with me, but the vast majority of people, including the Beatles themselves, consider Magical Mystery Tour a proper Beatle album.
Studio
Take a look at any Beatle fans record, CD, or online list that they listen to digitally. They'll have that album if they collect an album in the digital realm, or if they own it physically. All right. So even if they are a denier that that's a true Beatle album, and I know there are some out there, their actions speak louder than words. All right. So now we get back to Coda. If Magical Mystery Tour is a true album, and I believe it is, then Coda is a true album because they came together quite similarly. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nick?
Well, Coda as a whole is like a lot of great dishes. Everyone knows I'm in the restaurant business. There's a lot of great dishes: lasagna, uh, veal, scallopini, a bunch of different gumbo. That a bunch of dishes that are always better served as leftovers because they just taste better.
That's
Now,
an interesting way of putting it.
now, what Coda has is a few leftovers, and some up. As I've mentioned before, as an album, it doesn't match, but each song is a victory.
Right.
So, yeah, it's not an album in the sense of uh, years ago. You know, it was a story from beginning to end. This is just
Right.
multiple short stories. It's like a poem book. You know, one
Right.
poem has
Right.
nothing to do with the next, but it's a compilation of
Now,
poems. Well, these
yeah.
are wonderful songs that
Yeah.
don't really have a fit together.
Now, there is one good
Right.
argument
Right.
against this being Led Zeppelin proper album that I have to and have always conceded to. That's why this one is a little more foggier than the Magical Mystery Tour situation. And that's the fact that John Bonham had already passed away. He had no input about what went on this album. And so if you look at it in that way, then yes, it then would become a very good compilation or cuts and
Well,
stuff like that.
gotta disagree with you again. I'm sorry, my good friend, but
You're a pain in
without
my patootie, buddy. Go ahead, bring it
you,
on.
you'll see my twisted sense of humor.
Oh
Without
yeah.
John Bottom's
Okay. Bring it.
input,
Bring it.
his son wouldn't exist. Therefore, he did have significant input in the drummer that played.
I love this. I love this comment of Michael
Right?
Chavez's.
Do you see my twisted reasoning now?
Yeah. I see the twisted.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was gonna say I'm starting to see the twisted.
Still waiting for the reasoning.
That takes time and understanding.
But
Right,
I'm
right.
from a sample village, and we just learned to read and write not too long ago, Nick.
Well, it'll make sense someday.
It'll
'Cause,
settle in there sometime, right?
I'll tell you,
Hey,
if
why?
if if you had to have a drummer play in the concerts and the music that wasn't John Bottom. I mean, his son did a superb job.
Oh yeah.
Honored his father. They
Oh
all
my
did,
God, I tell you.
and I don't know of anybody that wouldn't think he would be a great add-on to their band if he was to
No,
so choose.
I couldn't agree more. I saw him
Yeah,
in concert just a few months ago, right here in town, Vina Robles Amphitheater, and I was completely blown away just how damn good he was. The Led Zeppelin covers were just, I mean, to die for. I mean, just
Yeah, but
fantastic.
that you get back to the point that if you're going to be cold-hearted about it, that's like, hey, we're the Beatles, John, Paul, George, and Zach. Okay.
Exactly.
See, to
no,
me,
he would have had
No, no.
an
Led
offspring.
Zeppelin is on the Beatles level, you know,
Oh
and
Oh,
Led
yeah.
Zeppelin
Well,
to
absolutely.
me is Jimmy, Robert, John, and Bonzo,
well,
and nobody
Yeah,
else,
yeah,
you know.
the
Now,
Beatles.
absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
however, I just wanted to reiterate, we've talked
Okay.
about this before on the show, Royce. I loved uh, when they got back together for that final show. All
Yeah.
right.
Oh
And
yeah.
Nick is
Yeah.
absolutely right. If there's anything that almost had the official thumbprint in rock and roll, that show,
Yeah.
and that's significant, right? This isn't just some kind of band with
Yeah,
about 4 or 5 albums and maybe 3 or 4 hits that
yeah.
was hot at one time, and his son takes over the drum. No, it's not like that.
But
This
I
No.
is
got
No.
Led
It
freaking
was.
I
Yeah.
Zeppelin,
got one
Right.
more question though for you, Michael.
Yeah.
Did you listen to this album?
Today, no, I didn't.
No, at all this week.
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, well, you needed to revisit it because if you had done so, you would have realized the brilliance of
Yes.
these records here and this recording, and the fact that
Yes.
although it was not John Bottom, it was DNA of John. I
Uh-huh.
mean, that
Well,
young
I mean,
man,
it's
as a
as close
infant,
as you can
grew
get.
up
Yeah.
listening to every beat and tempo and sound. It's in his DNA.
Yeah.
This will show you what
Absolutely.
passion, uh, natural human animalistic instinct,
Yeah.
the
Well.
ability to translate language
Right.
into
Right.
something more than that.
Yeah. Well,
It
there's a
was
whole. Yeah. There's a whole nother.
And again, my question is, and where's Bonzo? Huh?
Bonzo's
Where's Bonzo?
his DNA.
Where's Ringo?
Yeah, Ringo's
You
still
know,
playing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I'll make this confession. I'm a
I
bigger Led Zeppelin
I'm not
fan than a Beatles
I'm not
fan.
cutting I'm not cutting down anything that
Oh, I
has
know
to
that.
do with Jason Bonham.
Oh,
I'm actually a
we know
Jason
that.
Bonham fan, and
Yeah,
I love his whole Zeppelin connection. I just have that
Absolutely.
fine little point
yeah,
that Zeppelin. There is a trilogy of bands out there that you can't take anybody away from them,
yeah,
and you can't add somebody to them. To me, if the Beatles had ever actually added, because they were talking about this,
yeah.
Billy Preston to the band, I would have had problems with that.
Well, he was part of the band as it was, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and God, they were great together.
Yeah, they
But
were great together.
I
Yeah.
don't want to have to start remembering John Paul, George, Ringo, and Billy. I, you
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
it
Well,
just doesn't roll off the tongue.
I want
I
to
don't
hear
have.
from Chris. Yeah, you.
I'm just
No,
sitting back, letting you guys have your
you don't
moment
want you don't want to step into this pudding.
Oh
there.
no,
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Chris doesn't operate that way, Nick. He
okay. Well,
waits and then he
let's
pounces.
I know. I'm
let's
just
step
trying to throw them out.
let's step into this one. Okay, the Mothership is a compilation album by Led Zeppelin, released by Atlantic Records, of course, and I didn't know this before, but Rhino Entertainment. Okay, November 12th in the UK, November 13th in the USA, and that's 2007, of course. It was released on the same day that Led Zeppelin's entire catalog became available on digital stores, including the iTunes store. I have an iTunes account.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The cover was designed by artist Shepard Fairey. Okay.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful cover. I absolutely love this damn cover, man.
Yes.
And the songs included were chosen by the remaining members of Led Zeppelin: Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, and represent the band's 8. So they refer to 8, not 9 with Coda, and represent the band's 8 studio albums. In addition to a 2-disc set, the album was also available in both deluxe, collector's editions with the DVD featuring various live concerts from the previous release, Led Zeppelin DVD 2003, a 4 LP vinyl package, which is what I have here. And if you look at all the different releases, there's not too many of the 4 LP vinyl packages, mostly CDs. On November 8th, a temporary XM radio station, November 8th, when this was relieved, they set up a temporary XM radio station to cover, just strictly made to promote the album. Okay. The album debuted at number 4 in the UK with 58,000 units sold, and debuted at number 1, the official New Zealand album chart, and stayed there for several weeks. The album also debuted at number 7 on the US Billboard 200 chart, selling about 136,000 copies in its first week. The album has sold over 2.1 million copies in the US, over 4.5 million copies worldwide, leading it to become certified 2 times platinum. So that's pretty damn good, folks.
I'm amazed that that's all it sold.
See, I'm going to set in my 2 cents now.
Go ahead.
As a compilation, I like the box set, the 4-disc box set, and the 2 companion box set, or 2-disc box set. After that, I can make up my own mixtape.
Yeah.
I mean, I got all their reissues and everything. I know if you look at my CD collection, I have a lot of greatest hits, but sometimes that's how I get into a band. With Led Zeppelin, if I'm in the mood,
I know what you're saying.
I'll either put on one of the 6 these, from the box sets, or just one of their albums, or I'd rather listen to the album all the way through than to jump along. If I'm going to jump along, I'll come up with my own mix. I mean, I appreciate what they do, and I looked at them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Songs, but I think I can make some mix just as good or better. And so does everybody who ever listens to Led Zeppelin at the moment, right? But
right.
But I think the Mothership, and I kind of cringe when you guys talk about all the new box sets. Oh, let's buy all the same thing we already have, and maybe it's got 1 or 2 things, and let's pay $300 for it. Well, I don't have the patience or money for that. I like the box set. I wouldn't mind getting the reissue of the Mothership because of the DVD that comes along with it. But
the CD version with the DVD.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to welcome a few people that have joined that I haven't seen in a little while. Like Jason Rojas and Sean Michael Nolan. Okay. Joe 47771. Of course, Gringo Pines. He's been in and out before the show even started. Dan Goucher, our friend Dan Goucher. Adam Finley. Again, Jason Rojas. Mark Lastman. Jerry C. So there's a bunch of new people here that not new, but some that I haven't seen in a little while. And damn it, Wyoming Dave, Wyoming_Dave. He had to change his name, but Dave, we really appreciate you joining us tonight. Haven't seen you in a little while, so thanks everybody. Thanks a lot. Be sure to hit the thumbs up or like button. It distributes the show to a wider audience. If you get enough likes in the first few days of your new show, the algorithm goes to work for you. They just keep presenting it to people as an idea for them to watch. They just keep pushing it. If the likes taper off, then they just kind of stop pushing. But so that's why we always ask for the likes. It doesn't cost you. It's a really easy way to support the show. We also do have a membership though, for you can support the show and help us improve it for a couple of bucks a month. Anyway, just, we're supposed to throw that in.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, thank you. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to hit the like button. Love seeing our returning people, returning subscribers, new subscribers. Just billing the show like everybody else. Everybody's going to ask you for a subscribe. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it. So let's get into this. You were talking, Chris, right?
Yeah. See, I love the songs on this the list. My goodness. But there's songs I'm looking at that I could see. I'd rather take another song off that album or whatever. But
well, and I said that earlier. There would be people,
But the fact that it's what the band themselves chose, it's it's significant. But I also hold that same significance with why I like the box sets is because Jimmy Page and Robert, like the three members, they chose the order of the box set as well. So I can appreciate that, but just at the same time, I just don't have the money to go around buying all the different compilations.
Right.
Well, nobody does,
Yeah, I've had this one for probably, I don't know, 17, 15 years. I don't know.
Well, I wanted to show something that kind of stands out a little bit. It's hard to see. It's my my label on my shrink wrap. But one of the things that references here was one of the things that I read, and it says, remastering supervisor by Jimmy Page, the very best of Led Zeppelin, using the new 2014/2015 96K HZ /24-bit masters on your 480 gram LPs. Boy, these are like the thickest albums I've got. Others that are 180 gram, but man, these things are built solid. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I just wanted to mention that 2014-2015 mastering technique, whatever it is. But I really want to open the box and talk about what's in the box. Okay. Once again, absolutely beautiful. Of course, we got the Swan Song label on the back. Things around the edges, Led Zeppelin Mothership, for example. There's something on every edge. Okay. Well, anyway, enough of the edges. Let's pull the cover off. Okay. Go ahead and set it up here so we all can see it. Okay. The first thing I'm going to show you is it's kind of a little poster. Okay. Got the four guys. It's got their own personal symbols. You can see Jimmy Page has got Zoso. The third one down is John Bonham. It looks like you're looking down on three drums. The feather on the right is Robert Plant. Okay, and the one next to Zoso is John Paul Jones. Okay, and this actually gives you the track list here as well. Okay, it's like side one, good times, bad times, communication breakdown, dazed and confused, and babe, I'm gonna leave you. Now I love all those songs.
Yeah,
that's side one of 8. Okay, side 2, whole lot of love, ramble on, heartbreaker, an immigrant song. And I tell you what, that side right there just rivals any side of the 8 as far as I'm concerned. It's just great stuff right there. Okay, Vinyl Gorillas on bass here. I guess my favorite. Okay. All right. Yeah, got a great crew here in the chat. Thank you all so much for joining. We always appreciate seeing you guys. Look at this. We've got Bill K. Is that the fake Jason Rojas? I have no idea, Bill. I didn't know there was a fake one. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, like I said, this is like a little poster and shows the guys, shows their signs, and lists all of the albums. Okay. And okay, I'll set that aside for just a moment, and I'll take my handy little ribbon, which allows me to pull everything forward so I can get a hold of it.
Detail.
And what we have here is an amazing 20-page booklet. 20-page booklet, same cover as the album. I like this Zeppelin on the back. That's nowhere else on the album. That's pretty. I think that's pretty cool. Mothership, it shows the Swan Song label down here. Next to that, it says Atlantic Records. And I actually found my number, the 344-700. 344-700. When I was looking through the list of releases, most of which are CDs and streaming and stuff like that, Yeah, I only found one that was the album, and that was that number, had that number on it. Okay, so we're going to take a look here. We've got some pretty cool pictures here. The guys that playing at a rather small venue, it looks like. That's pretty cool. Then we've got the one and only, the amazing, greatest rock drummer of all time, John Bonham. And I tell you what, I read some of this today. I don't know what took me so long. I've only had this 6 or 8 or 9 months. But I really enjoyed what I was reading. There's some great stuff here. And I will finish reading it now that I've gotten into it and saw how just how interesting it is. Okay, and then, look at that, John Paul Jones. Good-looking young guy there, John Paul Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Over here, we've got Jimmy Page going off on one of his favorite Les Pauls. I did a show on Jimmy Page's losing his favorite Les Paul that he never took on tour with him. It got stolen by the guy that worked at the airport, put it underneath his bed for like 25 years. Then it came back out, and they'd been advertising for it. You know, a friend of Jimmy's was advertising for it for years through this music publication, and he finally got it back. But it was a real challenge, you know, and it wound up with some guy that was, you know, trying to be a big rocker, and people were throwing beer at him on stage, and beer bottles were breaking on Jimmy Page's guitar, and it was something. But then we've got Robert Plant over here. It's a great picture. It looks like a whole bunch of Jimmy Page's Les Pauls, as well as see an acoustic guitar on the left, and a couple other things. It looks like a Rickenbacker there. There's his double neck with the 12-string and 6-string, famous for, you know, being played on Led Zeppelin. I have an actual painting in my entry hall of Jimmy Page playing that double neck
I've seen that
guitar, and right next to it is Robert Plant holding a dove in his hand. And I need to take a couple of pictures of those and show them. Okay.
Yeah, share them.
Yeah, I wonder what blanked Michael out. He was there and then he was gone.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. All right. So anyway, guys, so what we have then, like I said, the 20-page booklet. All right. 20-page booklet, and it has, once again, here we've got all the sides, side 1 through side 8. And it's saying things like on side 1, it says, well, it lists the song, Good Times, Bad Times, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, John Bonham, recorded and mixed in October of 1968 at Olympic Studios in London, engineered by Glenn Johns, originally released on January 12th, 1969. I was in high school, lived all this in real times, 1 through 4. Okay, so it's got all 8 sides here, and it just gives you those same things. It talks about the remastering, Mothership produced by Jimmy Page, remastering. You had, you know, John Davis at Alchemy Mastering in London, art direction and design, Shepard Fairey, photographic research, Ross Halfie and Dave Brolin, and then photographs, and like everybody and his brother took a photograph. All right, let's see what else is in this 20-page booklet. All right, well, we got some more great pictures here. Here's John Paul Jones and John Bonham. John Paul Jones and John Bonham. Trying to make this where it looks okay. Anyway. Now, Nick, you have the same vinyl album. Okay. Do you have this in vinyl, Chris?
No. I don't have anything in vinyl, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't know.
You're a CD guy, right?
CD, yeah.
And streamer, yeah.
Well, I've been buying more and more.
Streamer, mostly just CDs.
I've been buying more and more CDs lately. But these are great pictures here, too. We've got Jimmy Page and Robert Plant.
Yeah.
It's funny. Today I was playing CDs, and the missus comes in. She's enjoying the music. She says, "Well, that's not the turntable. What do you listen to?" I said, "It's on CD." She looks. She goes, "Where's the CD player?"
Well,
And because
not
of so
not not much,
all
not
the
much, not much more here. Just this
all
one
the
last
black
one.
boxes stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
there's some beautiful artwork in this package.
Yeah, there really is. I mean, I think this thing is just spectacular.
That's the
I'll
thing that
go.
makes those compilations more reasonable,
Absolutely.
is for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, there's no doubt
professional to
about that.
write, you
Yeah.
know, and the photography.
Mhm.
Then you look at these wonderful covers. You know, they're plastic lined on the inside, and
Yep.
here's Jimmy with his Zoso symbol that
Yeah,
he
those are
chose.
so nice.
Zoso, and then of course, the track list. I'll pull one of them out. I don't need to pull them all out. They all basically look the same.
Hmm.
They're not colored vinyl or anything, which is fine.
Oh, they're
But
nice,
this
nice
is always
heavyweight. Yeah.
this is Jimmy Page's symbol, Zoso. That's always on one side of all four albums, and that is side one. Okay.
Yeah.
But then they tell you what the songs are on both side one and side two
On the other side.
on
Yeah.
side two. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of interesting. So that's what the albums all look like. We've got, of course, Jimmy Page's. We've got John Paul Jones. Um, I don't remember. Do anybody remember much about his symbol? What it actually stood for?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. Then we have John Bonham, and he picked this one because it was like looking down on his drum set from overhead.
Yeah.
You know, that one's kind of easy to remember. Oh. Thank God, it's just that empty. I don't know how many times I do this. Gee. You'd think I would have learned by now. Okay, and then Robert Plant, he's got this like feather. Anybody know the story behind that?
No, we didn't do our homework.
Didn't do it. Right? I know. Time can get away from you, you know. You're studying for a show. I know it's
Okay.
time consuming, you know. I only get 2
Jones
days.
Jones is a single intersecting circle, said to symbolize a person who possesses both confidence and competence, as it is
Oh,
difficult to draw accurately.
okay. Well, that's pretty good actually.
John Bottom's 3 interlocking rings is said to represent the triad of mother, father, and child.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay, well that's pretty cool. Somebody I read where it kind of represented looking down on
Well,
the
it
drum
does
set.
that as well.
Okay.
Let's see. What else I can take up?
Look at that. We've got our good friend Gloria here. Boy, talk about a reunion. We've got Gloria right below her is Kate Stoddard. Right below Kate is Bill Kay. The three of us got to go back at least 4 years on some other shows that we all went to. This Talking Wax vinyl competition show. You'd win vinyl, and we all actually had fun there. I have nothing bad to say about it anymore. I think we all had fun. Some things happened, but we all had fun. But anyway, Gloria, good to see you. Caitlin, Bill Kay. Thanks, guys. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, appreciate y'all for sure.
Robert Plant's
Most
symbol
definitely.
is a feather within a circle representing the feather of Ma'at, M-A'-A-T, the ancient Egyptian goddess of truth, justice, harmony, and balance. The
No
feather can
kidding.
also be perceived as a pen, which would check out for a lyricist, Robert Plant. The symbol originated from the Mu civilization, which existed 15,000 years ago on a lost continent in the Pacific Ocean. Okay,
Wow.
that's his symbol.
That's his symbol.
Page's symbol represents the most mysterious of all the band's members. His symbol is also known as Oso's symbol, and many members speculate that it has a satanic meaning behind it. Fans have
Oh
found the
God.
source of Page's symbol from 1557 book Ars Magica Artefacti by J. Cardan. One of the theories saw the symbol as Page placing his own twist on it. The Z represents the astrological sign of Capricorn, which is Page's sign, and then the Oso aligns with the satanic origin of 666.
That's funny. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Truly, no one knows what the meaning of Page's symbol is this day, not even Robert Plant. You may not believe this, says Plant, but Pagey once took me aside and said, "Look, I'm going to tell you the meaning of this." My page keeps moving. I'm sorry.
That's
And
okay.
then I shan't ever mention it again, or at least not for a long, long, long time. And would you believe that I have since forgotten what it was, and now Pagey won't tell me who is Pagey?
I was thinking Jimmy Pagey.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Uh,
I can't think of who
okay.
else it would be. When does the show start?
Okay, you want to
Somebody
know
wants
John
to.
Paul's?
Yeah.
John Paul Jones symbols, 3 interlocking ovals with a circle over them. The symbol is from Rudolf Koch's book of signs and entails Celtic and Gaelic origins for this sign, with multiple meanings behind the sign. Jones chose the meaning of the sign that represented the confidence in competent individual. Okay, yeah, I did that one.
I'll bet Chris Elliott's not too happy about this statement. Canada will be the 51st state soon, as it should be. You're welcome, Canada. You know all about that, right? I mean, obviously, being from Canada, you've heard that.
Hey, it's like buttholes. Everybody has one.
Yeah.
And no offense, Vinyl Gorilla or whatever, but it's I don't know. It's gonna get ugly when all this political trade and trade bullshit, because the U.S. is going to get it even worse than we are, because there's so much stuff that both these countries are interdependent on, and if you have to pay more to get what you guys are getting from Canada, well, it's not going to work out very good for either country.
No.
I don't think that's going to happen.
We pay the tariffs. It's not some magical fee that lowers the price of the goods we're buying. It adds to the cost of the goods we're buying.
It was used in some cases as leverage, like China.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, China was dumping all these semi-computer, parts.
Well, they had a huge factory, the biggest factory in the world. They were building in Mexico for automobiles, and they're going to ship them across the border. Well, when it was mentioned that they were going to do a 200% tariff, well, that ended the building of that manufacturing plant, and they're going to rethink it now. Because you just can't come in and dump, as slave labor prices, and dump stuff on top of us.
No.
Well, Stellantis just built a $5 billion electric battery plant here in Windsor, and Detroit. I mean, the border here is the biggest international crossing for U.S. and Canada as far as business goes. $1 billion a day goes over this bridge here.
Yeah.
And you think you're going to cut? I mean, come on. The parts, when they build a car, they go to cross the border 3 times to different manufacturers before the cars are even finished. There's so much interplay between Canada and the U.S. It's going to be interesting. That's for damn sure.
I'd like to share something. In all the years I've lived in Louisiana a long time, and for the first time in the past 2 or 3 weeks, I have started getting commercials about Toronto and Canada and we're your partners and this and that. I'm like, what?
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. No. I was just reminded, and appropriately so. We're very proud of the fact that we do not talk politics here. We talk about,
and we weren't, thank goodness.
Yeah, we talk about our music, and that's what we talk about. Once we kind of run out of steam a little bit, we can flounder around a little bit and just have conversation about whatever.
I think they ought to sell records,
but it was always a no
competitive
politics
price in Canada.
It was always a no politics and no drama zone here. So
leave the drama to me and Michael.
That's fine. Yeah. Drama among the crew is perfect. I'll take that kind of drama anytime. So anyway, Groovy Lisa, how are you? Hello, all. Was eating dinner. Yeah, yeah. What did I have tonight? I had a steak, baked potato, and a whole bunch of music.
Uh,
A whole bunch of music. Oh,
I-
oh, oh! And I had a hot apple cider that I put 2 shots of butterscotch schnapps in. Oh
oh,
my
there you
God!
go.
If you haven't had that, I highly recommend it.
My dinner was kind of juvenile. I had I I had a pair of waffles centered by chocolate ice cream.
Oh, no
That was
kidding.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm liking
Yeah,
that.
it was so good.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh man. Oh
Not a
man.
proper meal,
Any
but
freelance work I can pay. Hey William, do
it
you
was
have any
78
freelance
degrees
work I can
outside today, and we were working out in the yard, so we
Huh.
earned it.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's been kind of chilly here lately. We got rained on. We got rained on Saturday in the wee hours and Thursday in the wee hours. And I'm working on some balconies. And when they get rain in them, the rain can actually find its way back into the ceiling of the
Yeah,
unit below, and it cause some problems. So I have to spend time covering it all up with plastic when the rain's coming. I haven't had any problems, but boy, I tell you what, I overdo it a little bit when it comes to the stapling down plastic. Anyway, so all right, so guys, we've covered 1 through 9 studio albums, including Coda. We've covered How the West Was Won, a live album. We've covered the BBC Sessions, a live album.
yes,
We've covered The Song Remains the Same box set, as well as a separate line album that you and I both have. Live album. You and I both have the original pressing of that album.
yeah, yep.
Anyway, and so we took a break from Led Zeppelin. The numbers were tapering off a little bit. I think it was like too much of a good thing. And so we did a couple of weeks ago, we did The Doors. Last weekend we did The Who. I thought The Who did rather well.
Yeah.
It was up in the high 6s. Not sure what happened to the thumbs up, because it really kind of got a boost. The morning after the show, I had well over 400 views, and it was up to 600 in no time. But what was really funny is the morning after the show, I started with 40 likes or thumbs ups, and all week long I didn't get above 41. I still don't think I'm above 41. Maybe,
What?
yeah, an entire week went by. I gained
That's weird.
250 plus views and
Yeah.
no likes.
Uh,
But anyway, it is what it is. You just never know. You never know. So so now we're going to have to change it up again. I want to do Celebration Day with Jason Bonham on drums.
okay.
Tribute to Ahmet Ertegun, founder of Atlantic Records. And they all went in the studio afterwards, and it looked like we were going to get a new tour, with Jason Bonham. And everybody was really excited about that. And then the plug just got pulled on it. I don't know whether, Robert, who was really, really close to John Bonham, just didn't want to do it without John Bonham, or what the deal was exactly. I've heard different little things, but nothing for sure. How about you guys know why they didn't do the Celebration tour? Anybody in the chat know why they didn't do the Celebration tour after
I don't
doing
think they were ever planning on doing it. I think it was only planned to be a one-off. I mean, even when I don't know.
But they wouldn't.
They will ever do it because of the integrity of the band, still, with not wanting to be called Led Zeppelin without Bonham, except for a couple of.
Well, yeah, and that's why they
they
closed it down when he died. I mean,
the closest to Led Zeppelin that was going to be would have been if they included John Paul Jones with the No Quarter when they did that in '93. That would have been the closest, because I saw them on all 3 of those tours, and especially the last one, the Walking into Clarksdale tour or Clarksdale tour.
Yeah, I have that
just
CD.
A 4-piece band, and it was awesome. Yeah. So, although I still say the original No Quarter album, when they had the Egyptian orchestra, and that was probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Yeah.
But I mean, for having seen him 3 times, I'd say the 4-piece was good with with Charlie Jones and Michael Lee on drums.
Okay.
But the original No Quarter, I mean, come on. If it's not a snub to John Paul Jones, I mean, they named it No Quarter after one of his biggest songs. And, you know, having said that, I love the DVD and the CD. So,
yeah. Now you're talking about Clarksville again?
No, I was talking about the No Quarter Unleaded.
Oh, okay.
But the Walking into Clarksdale, I like that. It gets crapped on by a lot of people, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, I have that on CD.
Like the title track itself, I just love the swagger of it. You know, just
absolutely.
What about Coverdale Page? Did anybody like that Coverdale Page album?
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I bought the CD when it first came out.
Well, I was in my early teens when all of that came out, so I mean,
okay.
Like, I was 12 years old when 1990 hit, so I just gobbled up all of that stuff. Like, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was like that's how old I was when the Beatles hit.
I think we might be on to a potential show here, and we're talking about all the different post.
Well,
yeah, maybe we should get into like a post Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. I have some stuff, even some albums. You know, that one you showed that day, Nick. It had Page and but they weren't all playing together necessarily. Remember that one?
Yeah, but that was from the 60s.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure when it was from, but I have that album as well. Whenever I see something with any of the Zeppelin crew on it, you know, I'll always buy those now. Whether it's something with Robert Plant or I've got a couple with Robert Plant and Alison Krauss. I've got
you have
some other stuff
with Page.
Does anybody have any opinion on them Crooked Vultures?
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever really listened to them, but I've heard you guys talk about them before.
Yeah, it's John Paul Jones with David Grohl.
Oh, okay.
I don't know it.
I think Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but give me 1 second so I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have a Black Crows with
John
Robert Plant.
Oh, okay.
And it smells and sniffs like a Led Zeppelin album. I mean, he does a remarkable job.
You know what's funny is we used to ride our Harley Davidsons to the Laughlin River Run, Laughlin, Nevada, every year. And it was a mandatory run for all these like outlaw bike clubs, which we weren't, but we had a fun time there. I mean, every casino in Laughlin up and down the street. I mean, there was a band in the parking lot playing, not to mention headliners. I got to see Eric Burden playing in Laughlin just by a fluke. We were standing next to a little newsstand walking down the street in Laughlin. And there was like, what's going on in Laughlin? And I grabbed it and started looking. Right across the street, Eric Burden was playing. Oh my God! Small little venue. I immediately bought tickets. Me and my wife were in there the very next day. And I tell you what, I mean, I've always loved Eric Burden's music, in particular, House of the Rising Sun and Please Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood, Sky Pilot. I mean, there's so many in there, and they're all just amazing songs.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Okay.
It's David Grohl, Joshua Home, and John Paul Jones. It's a 3-piece.
Okay. Well, that sounds pretty damn good. I'd like to hear that.
Maybe not, but kind of heavy, borderline metalish. Kind of like
right. Okay.
A little step up from Coverdale Page heaviness.
Okay. Yeah, I need to look that up online and listen to it.
Yeah.
So you like it though, right? I mean.
Yeah, I really like it.
Now is Grohl drumming, or is he like a front man, or what is he doing?
I think he's on drums. But
okay.
I know I should remember, but Josh Homme, I don't remember if Josh Homme is.
It's never easy.
Joe says Led Zeppelin would be a great hologram band.
I know. I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would make money.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They've been offered so many times, so many hundreds of millions to go on tour.
Yeah.
They're not having it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
It's
Which
Yeah.
I
I mean,
think is good.
they just keep integrity, you know.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
they're definitely getting older now too. I mean,
Yeah.
at some point,
But
Robert
this
Plant.
album, to listen
Yeah.
to Plant sing, was just, all those things I mentioned earlier. It was remarkable. Just, it
Yeah.
really was. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yeah.
That's
Groovy Lisa likes all the Robert Plant, Alison Krauss stuff. And Lisa, I saw them a few months ago. You probably heard me say it already. But what a great concert. Oh my God. They must have did about what seemed like a 20-minute version of When the Levee Breaks.
Oh,
Or
wow.
Robert Plant did anyway. And then they did a long version of Whole Lot of Love. I mean, they did five or so Led Zeppelin songs, as well as the stuff that they
But this one
had.
here, I just looked it up. It's Dave Grohl on drums and Josh Homme singing and on guitar.
Okay.
What's the name of that album?
Them Crooked Vultures.
Them Crooked Vultures.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
But like some of the standout songs, I like. There's one on here, New Fang, or No One Loves Me and Neither Do I. Mind Eraser, No Chaser. Scumbag Blues. It's good.
I'm gonna go take a look and see if I've got something Piccolina the Cat's asking for. It's what is it? A 2 CD set? Yeah. Jimmy Page's 2 CDs. Let me go see what I have.
Yeah, I don't have that one, Piccolina. I got a couple of Jimmy Page sets, but not that
one. I'm not familiar with The Firm.
Oh, you should be. That's Jimmy Page from my nerves. Paul Rogers. Jimmy Page, really? Paul Rogers, Chris Slade, and I forget the bass player's name. Tony Franklin on bass.
I don't know if this is the one that Piccolina is asking about or not.
No, that's not it either.
Okay, because I thought I remembered you had this too.
Yeah, that's like
I have that.
2 of the box set. That's what completes the 4 CD, and that's the 2 or the 6 CD with that.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, this is cool. Two CDs. And it also has this in here, which is the cover of this one that I have.
Yeah.
This is the one.
That's the one I'm talking about, the 4 CD one. That's my favorite. That and the 2 CD one you just showed.
Okay.
That's my favorite compilation.
These two were given to me. I was given 160 CDs, and this just happened to be part of it. Yeah, 160. There was a lot of good stuff too. I mean, it's really got lucky. Anyway, this is really good here. This four album produced by Jimmy Page. And a little story about that. I bought it when it came out. I think it was like 1990 or something like that. Got this huge booklet. I think it's like 35, 36 pages.
Yeah.
And then it's got the 4 CDs, all set in recessed foam. And when I dug this out, I hadn't listened to CDs in a while. I had a changer that held 400 CDs and DVDs. You really had to keep close track of what was where. So many, 400 in there, And when that broke, I didn't listen to CDs in the house for a while. So when I finally dug these out, and I had already burnt copies of every one of these, because I'd take them on my motorcycle, out in my car, and I always left the nice stuff in the house. Well, what happened is I opened one of the cases, and it wasn't the right CD in there.
Oh no!
And so, oh man, that really messed with my head. And so finally, as I was going through all of these other cases in this big cabinet, where all these stereo equipment used to sit down below, I actually found it in a case it shouldn't be in. So I couldn't even believe that, because none of those have ever been played.
Just a night. Oh, go ahead, Nick.
Has anybody seen or played this one?
No.
No. What's it called?
It's called Led Zeppelin in the Light. Includes 4 DVDs by Bob Carson. Caruthers.
Okay.
Well,
There's four
is it a DVD or is it CDs?
Looks like
DVDs.
wow.
DVDs. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
and then there's a book. Let's see if I can open up part of it.
So I was,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's right up on the band.
I've done.
Yeah,
I don't know what
just
you guys
touch-
think about this. I've done a show before on grunge.
There you
know,
go. Check
and
that out.
Oh, yeah.
nice
Yeah.
pictures.
Can I just make one point quickly before we move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
The box set you're talking about, Royce, and all that booklet, the essay
Yes.
from Robert Palmer in there, that's a great essay. Really
Okay.
informative. If you want to know a little bit as a quick shot about the band, read that essay.
I'll do that. Yeah, and that's in the 4 one, the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Totally.
30-something page book.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, that was a nice set. 1992 or something like that. I
That
think.
was one of the greatest Christmas gifts I ever got when I was a kid.
Was it?
Wow.
I forced
This
my
is
parents to listen to it all the way through.
116 pages.
I didn't.
That one does? Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
a lot.
116 pages of information about the band. I
You
have
know-
not gone through it yet, but I just hadn't had time.
Right. Right.
It's on my list. I got to study for, the homework you keep giving me.
Well, you know what? We're thinking about the future shows, and of course, I still have Celebration Day to do. I also have the CD version of this, and the CD
I don't have
and
a CD.
Blu-ray DVD version of Celebration Day as well. But we need to do Celebration Day. I don't know that I have any other.
God bless you.
Other than these
Sorry about
cassettes,
that.
CDs here, I don't think I have any other albums, Zeppelin albums. There's a bunch of stuff out there, bootlegs and lives and stuff like that.
Tons. Amazon, I look over Amazon, they got tons all the time on there.
Okay, yeah.
But some of them are box sets that are not, they're bootlegs that are almost like copies of other bootlegs, so you got to be careful when you look at them.
Right. Yeah, I wonder what happened to Michael.
I don't know.
Kind of left without a trace.
Well, I had Celebration Day here. Yeah. Two CDs and oh, here it is. I loaded it up so I can, two CDs and a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But yeah. Matter of fact, I just put the Blu-ray in the Oppo, and so I'm gonna catch it when we get done or catch it tomorrow.
That Celebration Day, vinyl is really reasonable for how much you get. I think it's three albums and a booklet.
Yeah, see, that one there, but see, that's the one.
Yeah.
But it's got also it's got the 2 CDs, the Blu-ray, and it's got an extra DVD with the rehearsal.
Really?
Yes, I don't have that. That's a nice set right there.
The rehearsal is from December 6th, 2007.
Mine's 2
3
CDs.
days prior. 3 days prior to the actual concert. The DVD it's just a camera sitting in probably where the sound booth is there. Yeah.
Right.
But it's cool that they have a different set list than they do in the.
Hey, listen to this. Sid's
little booklet too. You just got the little booklet, right?
Yeah. Sid's asking, does anyone remember the soundtrack to the Charles Bronson movie Death Wish 2? Great movies.
Yeah,
that was done by Jimmy Page in 1982. Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder. Yeah.
I love the artwork.
So Sid, is that album available? The soundtrack for Death Wish 2? That would be really interesting.
That's the one I got.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah.
The CDs, the DVD, and then that's the one above my head is the Blu-ray, and then the other one by my head here.
The rehearsals.
That's the extra
rehearsals.
Bonus. Yeah.
Nice. No, that's a nice set. Very nice.
Yep.
Well, it's funny. My brother, I bought this right away when it came out. My brother, he bought me the 2 CD set and going, oh, that's cool. I just, awesome. Thank you. But I didn't have the heart to tell him I already had this. But.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that makes it kind of hard, doesn't it?
But you know what? It doesn't hurt as a collector to have the different versions of it, I suppose.
Yeah,
Of course,
absolutely.
having just talked about having so many compilations, I come out and say that, I guess. But yeah,
Right.
Yeah, you're the guy who doesn't want so many.
Okay, so James Watson has a friend that had the
Death Wish.
the soundtrack for Death Wish 2 on black vinyl in high school. That's interesting. Sometimes that's the kind of stuff you come across, you have no idea Jimmy Page is playing on the soundtrack, and you don't hardly even look at it twice.
Yeah.
There was another soundtrack that Jimmy Page did. I forget what it is, but I listened to it on YouTube. I couldn't get through it. It was just like background music, and
this wasn't cutting it, huh?
I forget what the heck it was.
Yeah, I've come across a couple of things where he played on, but
the one that just keeps popping in my head, but isn't Led Zeppelin though. It's the Pink Floyd one, Zabrinsky's Point.
Okay,
that's the one that for some reason pops in my head, but it's not the Zeppelin one I'm talking about. Kenneth, I think James might have it. The one that he's talking about, the Kenneth Anger film, I think so.
Okay.
I can't think of it for the life of me, the name of it, but
well, guys,
across it on YouTube,
we have covered so much Led Zeppelin, that this whole Mothership thing actually, there's so much more you could probably do, but I mean, we covered the basics, we covered the track list, songs that we've covered on other shows. And I love this album. I think it's great.
Yeah,
I plan on listening to this. I've got it on CD too. Same with some of these other things, but I don't even know if I've played the CD yet. But same with Celebration Day, the CDs. I don't know if I've played that yet either. But anyway, I thought it was kind of fun tonight. The Mothership. I was so excited listening to it these last few days because there's just so many great songs on it, and I think they did a really good job remastering them. One of the guys, I was reading some articles and stuff. One of the guys thought that they had mixed the volume of the singing down a little bit below. Did anybody notice that? They thought that the sound, not the sound, the singing volume was down, so the instruments were a little stronger and the singing was a little lower, and he thought it gave it actually more balance. Did anybody notice anything like that?
I didn't notice anything odd. No.
Okay. Oh, no, I didn't notice anything odd either.
Yeah, well, that would say usually Jimmy likes to pronounce himself to the front, his guitar and vocals when appropriate.
Right.
I mean, he's the guy that has been doing it, so
right.
That's his privilege. But there's I've criticized before. What's that?
It's his band. Keep
Oh,
going.
exactly. Yeah, I said it's his privilege to do so.
Yeah. Well, what do you guys think are you hearing anything about Jimmy Page playing with anybody anywhere?
I
know Robert.
Right now, I'm hoping that he redoes the reissues with the extra songs that were never released. Is the Coverdale Page album you were talking about earlier?
Oh, okay.
I'm waiting to see that remastered and reissued.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of the songs on YouTube and whatever. They're great songs. Just to get a professional master of them, it would be nice.
Yeah, he's got to be raking it in, remastering all this stuff.
In the hopes of not getting bashed, I would really like to hear what Chad could do with an album, Led Zeppelin album, what his choices would be to be different, than what Jimmy's done, to the albums. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just think a different ear would give a different presentation to the albums, and I'd be really interested to see because Chad's got a really great ear, and he's brought a lot of wonderful music.
Well, the thing that sorry, I don't hear me.
Go ahead. That's all right. You forgot you got to do that. Remember?
Yeah.
There you go.
The thing Jimmy's been mostly busy with recently is he's put out a lot of books, a lot of picture books, just archives of all the old Led Zeppelin pictures and other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But still,
have you bought any of those, Chris?
Not the Jimmy Page ones. I have a couple of the Led Zeppelin ones, but
Okay.
And just the soundtrack I was trying to remember, it was Lucifer Rising.
Lucifer Rising.
That's the one that's mostly just instrumental, or there might be more to it, but I couldn't get all the way through it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's probably the only thing Jimmy Page put out that I can't get all the way through, but
Well,
Right.
sometimes backing tracks and, movie tracks aren't meant to entertain. They're just meant
no,
to
they're
fill,
yeah,
you know.
and to go with the visuals too, right?
Yeah.
Right. Well,
So,
guys, I think we're going to cut her off a little early tonight.
okay.
Yeah, I want to thank you
Surprised you
guys
didn't get
for
through
joining.
set list.
Pardon me?
I'm just kind of surprised you didn't read off the set list. That's all.
Of the set list?
For the
Well, I started to.
There's four
I read.
discs.
No.
You
I
read-
know. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
the set list.
I read the first one.
Yeah.
You guys want me to
Yeah.
read the set list? I don't have a problem doing that.
Don't matter. Just normally you do, but
Yeah. No. We normally do.
seem
Yeah.
to be
You're right.
talking about different
So we-
things pretty consistent now. So
Yeah. I know. We went with side one. We had good times, bad times, communications
yeah,
breakdown.
James. Yeah, I
Days-
think James has got your number. You want to get back to the schnapps.
Yeah, calling it off early. Royce wants to get back. Yeah. Hey, try that sometimes with hot apple cider and peppermint schnapps.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's good. So anyway, okay, side two, Whole Lot of Love. We all love that song. Ramble On, Heartbreaker,
Yeah.
Immigrant Song. And I remember after reading that, saying that side two right there is as good as any side on
Yep.
any of these. You know?
Absolutely.
And then side three, second album, Since I've Been Loving You, Rock and Roll and Black Dog are just monsters as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. You know.
That's,
Side four, When the Levee Breaks. I love that song, you know.
yep.
That's what chased all the old bluesmen from the Chitlin circuit to Chicago. They were all playing Chicago blues when the levee actually broke. Stairway to Heaven, Levee Breaks. The song remains the same. I would say that of those three, I would probably call The Song Remains the Same the weaker of the three tracks.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? No?
I don't know. Myself, I'd probably say When the Levee Breaks would be the weakest.
Would you really?
Wow. I shot
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah.
That's why they make chocolate and vanilla, right, man?
Well, it's Led Zeppelin. I mean, in 10 minutes from now,
Yeah.
I could hear the other song and it would be different. You know.
Yep.
Well, that's what we go around in circles saying when
Yeah,
we're talking
absolutely.
about
I
Led
want to
Zeppelin.
address
It's like,
Joe real quick about
Go ahead.
too much eggnog. The
too much.
have you
eggnog?
tried the Pennsylvania Dutch eggnog? Holy cow. That'll light you up. I promise you.
And that's
Yeah.
before there's any special ingredients added.
Yeah, there's a boatload of booze.
That's the best.
Tastes like
Boatload of
eggnog,
booze.
but yeah, it'll light you up. It'll sneak up on you, and you'll say, "Hey, this is good." And they'll whack.
Oh man, Joseph Blues bummed. He just woke up. Sorry, Joseph. Okay, so all right, so let's get to side five. We're on the third album now. Over the Hills and Far Away. Actually, one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
You guys probably think I'm crazy with this kind of a
good
catalog
stuff.
to choose from, but I love Over the Hills and Far Away.
That is one of my. That's in my top 10 probably for
Start
sure.
out with that sweet acoustic music, then it gets heavy, and then it goes back to being soft at the end. Just fantastic. I love that song. Jamaica. You taught me about that. Jamaica? Did you make her? Yeah, and her sister. No Quarter. That's a great song. Over the Hills and Far Away, No Quarter, great. Side 6, Trampled Underfoot, Houses of the Holy, and Kashmir. What do you guys think of those three tracks? There's something you would have rather seen over any one of those, or
you could put any song from Physical Graffiti and it works for me. So
yeah, I'd say one of the crowning achievements that Led Zeppelin, on top of everything else that they've done, they have a way of their intros to most of their songs are just, God, they're so damn good. I mean,
I know.
just pick a song. And I mean,
I know.
Over the hills and far away, you were just saying. And
Right.
the intro to that is like, ooh,
Acoustic, yeah.
yeah, just incredible. And just off on the journey we go. And
Right.
you just
Right.
never know where you're going. God, talk about just genius.
Well, I try to,
Everyone.
Oh,
yeah. See, I
Oh,
try
go
to
ahead,
picture
Chris.
myself like just imagining what it would be like to hear for the very first time, like you were saying, talk about an intro. Side
right.
one, Led Zeppelin one, boom, boom,
Oh,
boom,
yeah,
boom.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
come
yeah.
on. In the
Right. Right.
days of my youth,
Yep.
like,
Right.
it doesn't get much
Right.
bigger than that.
No, it doesn't. Like, hey, we are here. That's
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Like us
Hello,
or not, we're here.
we're about to take the world on.
Yeah.
Here we
And we're
go.
very
Right. Right.
unapologetic about it. Yes.
Yep, buckle up, baby. Here we go.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely great ride.
Mhm.
Shame it had to end so soon.
Yeah. Well, you
Well,
started
that's
Yep.
that, and then the
okay.
second
So,
CD or
yeah.
the second album, you got the riff that started heavy metal. I mean,
Yeah.
and then just started
Yeah.
Zeppelin 3. I mean, does it get any harder and faster than Immigrant Song?
No,
No.
like I said, they just like you said, unapologetically. Here we go.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
think any
Right.
other band has mastered that as
Yeah.
well, and
No.
that's why they
And you know what? They've had
were
good
who they
they've
were.
had good teachers too,
Well, they also
So
wrote the book.
that right.
A
Well,
lot of
that's
the
what makes
teachers said, "Well, you can't do that. That's not how it's done." And they
Yeah.
said,
Well, watch
"Oh,
it.
watch us." Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, man. It's that's how the book. Let's burn that book because we gonna rewrite it, and they did.
Okay,
There's
so
been few
the
artists that have done that.
Yeah.
the last of the four albums on side 7, Nobody's Fault But Mine and Achilles' Last Stand,
Yep.
and then we get onto the final side 8, In the Evening and All My Love. And All My Love, that's a great song too. Yeah, this is just loaded with excellent stuff. I mean,
In the
I
evening,
love
that
this.
was.
I mean, I really love this box set. I got to tell you guys, and
Yeah.
came with a little bit of bubble wrap to drop in the
Yep.
front here.
Right on.
Didn't throw that out either, buddy.
Then we got our we got our shrink wrap with our hype
Yep.
sticker. Hype sticker. Everybody, I said, oh, save that. It'll add value later.
I had to go
Yeah.
some to find a sleeve for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's boxes, like this. But it's such a beautiful package.
It's a
And
beautiful package. I agree.
yeah, and then you get to the music and you're like, psh, mic drop.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Absolutely.
But Led
So
Zeppelin didn't have to do that. I don't know. I don't understand the whole mic drop thing. I don't get it. But Zeppelin didn't have to do that. It was a
no,
jaw drop. As soon as somebody heard him play, their jaw dropped. Who needs the
yeah,
mic?
that's
Right.
the same
Right.
thing basically.
Well, a
That's
Absolutely.
little less
exactly right.
disrespectful because I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but I think the mic drop half the time is pretty disrespectful. But maybe that's just me.
Ah,
Mothership is amazing, but because I own box sets 1 and 2, my very first Zeppelin CDs, they hold more sentimental value to me. I can totally
I
understand
makes a
that.
lot
totally
of
agree with
sense.
that.
I get that way on so many things. Yeah, thanks for leaving that comment here, Blueberry Pie. Okay, well, I'm gonna thank all you guys for joining me and co-hosting with me. Really appreciate it. Everybody did a great job, and I want to thank everybody that visited the chat, and hung out with us, whether it
Yes,
was the entire show, part of the show. You
absolutely.
are so appreciated.
Sure.
Please hit that thumbs up button. It lets the algorithm know people are watching the show, and it encourages the algorithm to put our show in front of
There we
people
go.
searching for content. And if you're not already a subscriber, do me a proper and hit that subscribe button.
Hit that like button. There
So,
it
all
is.
right,
Boop.
guys. And so once again, thank you. We're going to sign off now.
Everybody take care. Have a
And
good night.
that's what's happening in Royce's world today. Thank you all so much for joining. We really appreciate you. It's a family here.